If there is the belief that the Army is woke and that we are getting softer, you couldn't be farther from the truth.
If you've been out there in the world, you've seen our military and our police. The military standards, police standards, they seem to have gone down the gutter.
You got a lot of people that just don't look the part. They don't look hard as nails. You want to show up to your new recruits and they're like, wow, look at this guy. Looks like he can outdo us, and they don't look that way.
Is there going to be a comeback to what the military and even police in general standards need to be?
Military and police, very similar. However, they're different mission, right? Army, Marines are ground forces, Air Force, obviously, in the Air Navy.
Chair.
Chair, whatever you may want to call them. So the level of fitness may be different across branches because of what you're required to do. And then it's also different across different jobs or rates or MOSs or whatever it's called in your respective branch of service. Oh, we forgot the Space Force. Space Force as well. So
making a comeback.
You'll see different service members that are part of different branches that have different levels of fitness because their job is not requiring them to ruck 40 miles, right? Unfortunately, this is the part that nobody talks about with military and police about the fitness standard. Those are two jobs, if you do them long enough, you're guaranteed to get injured. And so many people don't understand how hard it is to have to get up every day, maybe work out at 6 a.m. You got to do ruck marches. You're doing a whole lot of physical activity, and a lot of it is repetitive. Injuries are going to happen, and it's going to prevent you from working out. As former athletes, we all know our level of activity may change, right? We may become more sedentary, but the hardest thing for us is our terrible eating habits because we all have them because we're used to burning so many calories. And that's what happens. If you're used to rucking and doing all this exercise and all of a sudden you can't, you're not going to stop eating like you do. The other thing is the mental aspect, right? It's a new society.
Right.
I think that it's really important for us as men, because at the armed forces, men, we make up a bulk of a lot of the jobs, right? For us to be able to communicate and solve problems without getting physical. Because for one, if me and Travis, we're working together, right? We're in the Army. He and I have a disagreement. Travis knocks me out, breaks my jaw. I can't work. And whatever I'm supposed to be doing is not getting done.
I think there's been a perception out there publicly that our military looks weak. Especially with some things you might see on people in the military on TikTok, or you just might see on social media, or there's some aspects of, when you mentioned the mentally for the military. Yes. Some people get into the military and they think it's one thing and then it's completely not.
I'll speak for the branch of service, Army, whatever the case may be. There are a lot of folks there who, like I said, who love the military, are there because they want to be there. There are folks there who who really don't have another option. Their parents they may not have parents, right? I'll be honest. There's a large LGBT presence in the military because, unfortunately, a lot of times their parents will disown them, and the military essentially becomes their daddy, right? You get your meals, you get your they take care of you.
Lodging, everything.
Right.
Yeah.
So you have a mixture of people who want to be there and are there to serve. You have and you have people who are there because they really don't have a better option. Not to say the standard is low, but in today's society, it's not the best and brightest that are usually going. Now, in the current generations, the best and brightest are not. I mean, they're going to college, and the real smart ones are .com billionaires by the time they're 20, or TikTok, or have some type of content creation going on, right?
Right.
So
I know what you're saying there.
The caliber of person, I was there. I'm not going to say that I'm not a good person or that I'm one of the worst people, but I'll be honest. My dad's, my uncle, my brother was in. They were far better than I was, and being in the military was looked at a higher standard. So I don't think it's the soldiers, it's society's view of the military, mostly because of an unpopular war. There were 18-year-olds coming in who had never lived in this country and we not be at war. Their entire life, we were at war. So that long stretch of fighting and then the way it ended rubbed a lot of people the wrong way in the military and outside of the military. And to me, I think that's more damaging. It's not the service members; it's the public image of the service that is taking a hit And unfortunately, it's because of decisions being made by people who have never worn a uniform.
What was your mentality when you went in, and what do you think the mentality is of those who are in now, especially the ones who are just joining, new recruits coming in? Because a lot of the stuff factors that you said, why people join, I get that. But also, you had to have known. I mean, there with social media or just movies or whatever the case may be, there's no way you're in that big of a bubble to not know that when I go into the military, how things were going to be.
No, you'll be surprised how many people don't know. So, like, coming in, unfortunately, every recruiter is not the best recruiter. This past summer, I was talking with a young man, and he's interested in joining the military. He's actually, I think, doing ROTC now. He is going to branch in Intel, and that's great, right? And I asked him, I said, hey, do you like working out? He said, okay. I said, so if you don't like working out, you probably shouldn't join the Army because it's required. You're going to have to do it. And that's, like I said, they don't prepare you for that aspect of military service. It has to kind of fit your personality. If you're not a person that enjoys being outside, like if you're not into camping, if you're not into exercising, if you don't like getting your ankles wet and walking in the shoes for the next 7 hours with soaked boots, the ground forces ain't for you, brother, because we all got to do it. I don't care if you're a 42 Alpha or a 35 Fox or 11 Bravo. At some point, you go into the field. Whereas some of my coworkers in my previous job, we were all had served at some point, 3 Army guys and a Navy guy. I said, hey, man, did you ever go in a ruck? He was like, no. I said, you ever do weapons training? No. Like, so a lot of times when people join, they don't really have an idea, and how would you until you get there, of what the job entails. Basic soldiering. Everybody has to do the basic soldiering tasks. Now, not everyone does them to the same level, but to your point, to answer your question, it happens all the time where guys show up there and they have no idea what to expect. They're just thinking, oh yeah, I'm an IT guy, so I'm gonna be on the computer all the time. Nope. That's not how it works. You're a soldier.
Shots fired. I don't know what to do.
If you guys really want to know, I'll have a recruiter call you, sign you up. Basile, I know you got a knee. Lie about it. They'll take you, brother. Travis, they're going to put you right in special forces, brother?
Nah, I got a medical history of asthma, so I'm going to be like, I want, you said, everybody said, don't tell them, they'll put you in. That's my mentor. He's a Vietnam vet. He's like, look, if they get a hold of you, Travis, you're going to be in something. Like, period. Just because of your background, your athletic background, what you do for a living, the way you engage with people.
I think you should sign up. I think you should go, man. They need people like you. I mean, you got a degree, so you can be an officer.
All right, this ain't a recruit episode.
That switch, man. The mental switch when it comes to that stuff. I don't think I could do it.
You don't have to switch it.
Nah, man. If I get a MOS that's got me.
Listen, those killer dudes were always the coolest guys. They were always like everybody thinks they're going to be like. Some of them are a little.
No.
A little tough, but
the killers are always usually the nicest ones.
What do you guys think? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. And if you want to see the full episode of Late Night Bmore, check the link in the description. Thanks for watching.